if you're Satan.
Easy cap.
Or Iron Man, apparently.
PlayStation VR is set to launch in October for $399. While this is a delay as the device was scheduled to be released in the first half of the year, Sony has said they want enough hardware to meet demand as they're hoping for mass adoption early on. Over 230 devs are currently said to be working on titles compatible with PlayStation Virtual Reality.
Are you shitting me? $400 and that's it? That's it? $400 and I can be... I could be doing VR.
As much as a console, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I've already got the PS4.
Yeah.
All you need on top of that is the camera. That's it.
That seems so fucking low.
It is so low.
I just saw an article on PCPer the other day. In order to, or they had their, I don't think it was their top build, but it was a decent build. But for a VR-ready system, they're talking $2,500.
Yeah. You are talking if you have nothing, let's say, you're talking about a camera, a PS4, and the VR, you're talking about $1,000 barrier for entry on VR. That is dirt cheap.
That is, that's insane.
How well is that performance is what I want to know. Because comparatively, when you look at, you know what? Because getting a decent PC nowadays, you're looking at what, like $600, $700, maybe $800, right?
Yeah.
That's for a really
low
good
end. No, you know what? That price point on PCPer is for a mid-tier system.
Yeah, I would put that mid-tier.
That's about double the price of a PS4, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe if you're telling me from having nothing, barrier to entry $1,000, and they're talking about $2,500 for VR,
it's ridiculous.
That's about double. So maybe
it's ridiculous.
Maybe.
Sony's got to be losing money on these. They have to be.
Or it's just not that good.
Maybe, but this is twice now.
Really weak VR.
We were really surprised with how cheap the PS4 was when they announced the price point, and a lot of that was a dick over Microsoft.
They were trying to slight Xbox.
Yeah, it was a dick over Microsoft, but I mean, can you argue with the results?
No, I can't. But I don't see how could it. I mean, I obviously these words can come back to haunt me, but how could it be bad? The
what could possibly go wrong?
I know, right?
Hold on.
Cliche
Nate,
time.
Nate, here's what I would like you to picture. All right, so you're at Nintendo headquarters. Okay,
always comes back to Nintendo.
Hang on. What?
Why is he at
How did we get to Nintendo?
Bear with me, okay? You are the president of Nintendo, okay? This is several years ago. You've just announced that the Nintendo Revolution is going to be the Nintendo Wii, and it's all the latest craze and, all kinds of doohickeys and little lollipop-shaped things and whatnot, and this is the future. How can it go wrong?
No, because they're like, oh, let's try new concepts. VR is a fairly well-tested technology.
Okay.
It's fairly normalized among most of the hardware. At least that's been the feedback from people who have used the Samsung headsets, who have used the Oculus Rift, and who have had a bunch of experiences among a bunch of different hardware. And I feel like as long as it works, as long as it functions, and the thing about every piece of Sony technology that I've used is that it just fucking works. Like right now, everything seems to work and talk to one another. I expected the remote play for the PS4 on the Vita to be janky as fuck. It's not.
Yep.
It's totally not. It's great, and that's the thing. Maybe it's that I have faith in Sony because they put out great hardware. Maybe not great selling, but great performing hardware. And the second thing is that I really feel like the VR technology has been pretty normalized.
Okay, because the biggest fear that I have, right, because Wii games perform fine for what the Wii is, right? But when we look at what they have, Wii Sports, Wii Bowling, Wii this, it's all just like basic shit.
I agree.
And that's the one thing that I'm worried about is all the stuff that they're going to have for it isn't going to be...
It's going to be like that for a little bit because it's going to take developers a while to wrap their head around it, and then it's going to take time for the people who are more talented at the VR development to step in and really use the platform.
Put us in MGS or put us in Mass Effect.
Here's the thing though, comparing where we're going to be at with PlayStation VR versus the Wii coming out was motion capture had two things working against it. It was still very, very new. No one had done it real well before, and anytime you had motion capture, it had kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Now what we're looking at with the PSVR is the Oculus has paved the way for all this. It has been a concept in the marketplace now for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's well received and it's good.
Yeah, and there's also another fairly big factor at play with the Sony VR headset, and that is that it will work in theater mode with every existing PS4 title.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
right
that
there,
at least,
right
yeah.
there. I mean, like, dude, I would love to play any
How
of
good will that be, though? If it's if it's retroactively working, it can't be that great on the
It's
other.
theater mode. It's basically like you just. It's not your head movements are not controlling anything. You're controlling everything as a camera, but you have a gigundous screen.
Yeah, you're pushing you're taking yourself out of reality in the
Okay.
aspect that like you're sealing yourself off from the rest of the world with that
Yeah,
headset
it's not that.
Sensory deprivation.
You're not going to be able to use the VR controls, but theater mode just says you're going to be able to put the display that you would normally put on a television onto the VR headset, and that is a fairly huge selling point for me.
Yeah.
Is it heavy?
So now you can't
I don't know
see.
actually. That's a good question. I don't know any of the actual like weight specs on
My
it.
curiosity is what is the specs going to be like on the headset, or is it going to come with any form of headset with it? Because if not, you are going to want to invest in a really good like noise canceling headset because that's going to really put you into the mood, especially doing horror games.
Malfested asking a pretty good question in the chat. Will it lag if you use it on FF14? I don't think it would, even if you're using Wi-Fi to be able to connect the two. I think they're going to use Bluetooth or some kind of stronger connection that doesn't have as much range. But if they do end up using Wi-Fi, I can tell you right now that when I play remote play on my Vita or on my PlayStation TV, that the only thing that affects the quality of the display is my Wi-Fi strength, my signal
yeah.
strength. That's it. That's it. And if there's no amount of information that will pump through the network that will negatively affect that. I don't see
So
it.
the only question I have now is how long until we see a news headline that someone was robbed while they were playing with their VR headset because they couldn't see or hear a damn thing.
It makes me excited for like when the Omni Mill comes out and you're going to be able to like literally walk and do the movement controls with your feet. That's going to be cool.
No, that already happens though, Robbie. Like my friend actually made a post the other day that there was like no one home except one person who was gaming, and he was paying so much attention to gaming he didn't pay any attention to the sounds he heard in the basement, and they got robbed. This is a real story.
I love to have to explain to my roommates that someone robbed the place while I was playing video games upstairs.
So I can
Stepping-
imagine it's going to be even worse.
Yeah, but just like
Yeah.
stepping around you, like not just in other rooms, but like literally everything's gone, but like the PS4 and the couch you're sitting
I
on.
can see the guy's like contemplating it as he looks at it, like, all right, I've stolen everything else. Now do I risk trying to get the TV? All right. Warcraft is finally getting